Vacation Veritas. I was just gonna hold it until it's like, how long will we hold this smile? And Lakesh Veritas, how you doing today, Lalta?
I am doing very well. I'm much better than I have been.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so we are here today of a Sun live stream, and
Yes.
welcome everyone. Today we are talking about freedom, and that will be our focus today with the Call for the Truth divination card pool. So just a little heads up, straight up out the gate. Our topic today will be the maxim: it is never that the option for free choice is not there. It is that it is not exercised.
Yes.
Like, ooh, I don't want to go too deep prior to announcements, but often there's this quote that comes to mind that you have. It's very popular. We are so free that we imprison ourselves. And this makes me think about that and how options are always there, but like, we're just like, I don't know what else I can do. Like, glasses are off and everything, I
Yeah.
can't see. And so I think this is going to be worthy of exploring. And this plays out, I think, in so many different ways, primarily through relationships. We'll be looking at it through that lens and the freedom of releasing that which doesn't serve us. You know, wave goes out, wave comes back in, changing the wave, all of that. So, again, welcome, welcome everyone. And just a couple of announcements before we dive into the live stream. And also, if you're here and you're a part of Light Body and you're enjoying yourself, drop a comment, let the people know what your experience is like, anything that's notable regarding it, because we are in the sacral right now, and today's topic is through the lens of the sacral chakra. The freedom card is orange, so this definitely has some continuity with the
Yes.
class. And for those who are new, or maybe you know a little bit about us, every first, second, third, and fourth Sunday, we are together in community, working on activating, in the most practical sense, our light bodies. And so, as a group, each month we are moving and hyper focus on a specific energy center where there are meditations, activations, class documents, and curriculums, and dialogue. You know, and then we go out there outside of class, we test it out, we activate, we be the light, we come back with our case studies and discuss it. You know, again, to anchor in the truth of who and what we are, and again in the most practical sense. So if you're looking to join us, you can visit the Eversun website on the homepage, Light Body Movement, to learn more. Also, we are currently in the midst of class. We have Akashic Records this month. It's today. We're continuing in the records with our class, and then you're also in the middle of teaching soul translation,
Yes.
energetic sensitivities.
Yes.
Oh, sensitive. And so we're having a good time here, and I understand that next month you will be teaching Reclaim Your Sovereignty.
I think it will be the following month, but yes.
Oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, you decided that you're gonna month off, month on,
Yes.
alternate. So that'll be in March. However, in February, we're also doing DNA activation,
That's right. We have still, and the beat goes on. The
and the
beat
beat
goes
goes.
on. Yes.
Cool beans. So in the month of March, so we will have soul translation, regain your sovereignty. I'll also be teaching energetic protection and defense.
See, the beat goes on and
The
on.
beat go- and the beat goes on. I'm thinking about monetization. It's like, how much can I sing? Anywho, there's a lot of you who are interested in taking entry level classes, and this is one of them. And again, in a very practical sense, how to protect yourself energetically from outside interferences, but really in the essence and the core of the class is to teach people that you protect yourself from knowing who you are. And it's really you that's attracting and bringing things. So this is really entry levels of self-mastery over your thoughts, your emotions, and regulation over your beingness, and how to engage accordingly. You know, some things might come your way, but you are taught how to send things back and call your power back as well. But a lot of this is rooted within universal laws and principles, you know, so you can govern yourself accordingly, because it's when we're breaking law, we suffer and we end up sending things out there. Why is this happening to me? Why are they attacking me? Because you did that. Or you're bringing yourself to a level that is in resonance with it. So we go into a lot of practical application with that. Along with this month, we're continuing to have Diane of the Sun. You can join every Wednesday, 12 noon, for a meditation. Matter of fact, she's working with those mudras. She had us charging up energy. I was in my car getting gas, tuned in. I was like, all right, let me charge up this energy. And it felt really good to work with the mudras. Last week, she did one for the sacral. I think it was this one. No, that was the root. Which one was for the sacral last week?
This one, yes.
There we go. Yeah. I was having a little challenge with getting my fingers to go there, but again, a lot of this is full circle what we're doing to keep things in support of like light body, etc. So these were sacral, and again, learning to work with your energy field. So it's very fun. It's free. It's here on the live stream, and you can catch on Fridays for the Call for the Truth Divination card pool at 7 p.m. On the first Friday of February, I'll be a guest on her Evolutionary Book Club. We're going to cover the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and we'll have a good time there. And that'll be really focused on the light body, because that book does speak directly to cultivating the light body,
Right.
and literally says multiple times, children of the sun, the people of the sun. And every time I read it, I'm like, yep, that's us. Yep, that's us. And so I think people who are part of the community of a Sun will find great value. So join us there. We're going to have some good times. And that's pretty much what I had. You have anything else extra you want to announce before we shift
No,
gears?
just no, just looking forward to this new year. There are going to be a lot of changes. We're going to be putting new systems in place, making things easier. We'll be working on that in the next month or two, so there'll be lots of announcements.
That's right, stay tuned. And so also be on the lookout with these announcements. We're going to be sending them. Many of them will be via e-blast. So if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, go to the website, submit your email, subscribe so you can stay in tune with the happenings. And as usual, we give announcements here, but there's more insider information that we would be sending if we had your email. And no worries, there's no flooding and spamming, but only on a need-to-know basis to keep you informed. So this wraps up our announcements, and again, we're here talking about freedom.
Yes,
Freedom.
yes, it's very exciting. The card from the Call for Truth deck, would you pull it out
I most certainly will.
and share it so the audiences, and then also read the follow-up that's in the book.
Okay, so once again, our theme is freedom. This is orange for the sacral. It is never that the option for free choice is not there. It is that it is not exercised. And the book says free will or free won't.
Yes.
And I love that.
Yes. And you can free will it or you can free won't it. And I think all of us have had full measure of that in our lives.
Yeah. You might want to use that. You're in a conversation with someone and you're giving them options and you go, free will, free won't, and just shoulder shrug and just see what they do. It'll have them thinking like, damn, what am I going to do with this free will? You're right.
Well, either way, you can move forward with it or you can choose not to.
Yeah.
So it really acknowledges that you're not without options.
So that's the thing. I think that many people feel that we don't often have an option, or the only options are what's in front of us. And in the world, there's this illusion of choice. Here's we were talking about bread is often something that you find within the Western diet, and it's like you go to a hotel and it's like 92 options of different types of breads. It's all the same thing. It's all I can choose from. Well, you can choose the fruit, or you can choose to not dine there. That's an option too. But again, we see this theme within relationships. We see it with relationships with corporations, with family, lovers. Like almost like we don't have a choice. But take us deeper, specifically into relationships. I know you said you wanted to touch on this idea of showing that sometimes we have to choose to let things go and free ourselves. What do you have on that?
Well, and it's interesting, and I think I talked about this last week, is I like to go back to the Declaration of Independence, where it is clear and self-evident that there is a God and he wants us to be free.
So I was not prepared for you to quote that. I was like, whoa, you taking it? It is said in the Declaration of Independence. It's like, whoa.
And so I only use that because I love the language of it is clear and self-evident that we are free.
You're right. But like, where have we lost sight of the plot, though? Because
Yeah.
clearly we are not.
Well,
functioning.
even when they wrote it, they didn't mean everybody.
No, of course not. But
but we're not really. I'm not. That's not
Yeah,
this
it's beyond
discussion
that,
for
yeah.
today. So I like it because it helps us understand our relationship with the external aspects of ourselves, our government, our schools, our teachers, our nurses, our doctors, our lawyers, our Indian chiefs. You know, like, so all of the people to which we have given authority in our minds to think to help things run in an orderly fashion is all our freedom. I bestow upon you the right to govern me. And we forget that part.
oh, amnesia.
We forget the part that
It's gone.
it is, you can only govern me if I allow it. And I'm actually ungovernable. So I'm speaking from a person I'm not easily governed. So, but, and I encourage other people to try that. But the idea is that you can only govern me if I allow it. So if I don't allow it, you can't govern me. If I don't allow you to teach my children, you can't teach them. If I don't allow you to operate on my body, then I won't be going into your hospitals and following your rules. If I don't allow for you to dictate to me how I should think about my relationship with Source, you don't have the ability to do so. The freedom lies within the essence of the being. All of the extenuating circumstances are varying levels and degrees of what we've given away. You know, like you can have 2 inches of freedom, you know, I'll allow you to have half an inch in my life, in my children's life, in my parents' life, you know, all of, and because we have done that, often we have no backup systems. So we don't have a backup plan for what happens if I didn't give 2 inches of freedom to Social Security. What happens then? You know, and then everyone's looking for, look, I'm willing to piece myself apart and give to everything what I need to give to it on the, if you will respond by giving back to me the things I think I want. Like I'm willing to buy insurance if, in fact, if I have an accident, I'm now covered. That's how most of us operate. But it doesn't always work out that way for us. It doesn't always work out in our favor in that way. And when you consider that everyone by law is required to do so, and we are to understand that it is in the best and highest interest of all concerned, however, in whose interest is it the best?
That's a good point.
You
Who's
know,
benefiting
who
most?
benefits the most from laws that demand that we do certain things and alleviates our willingness to be responsible for ourselves. It takes it off the table. Like, no, you are not, by law, you are not allowed to be responsible for yourself.
It's like we're 8-year-olds. It's like, no, yeah, give it here. Come here. No.
So that's one level of a relationship, but there's also, and which is what I really wanted to talk about, there's also all of these relationships that we gather as we walk, take our sacred steps on the earth plane. Then we meet someone, meet you, Tavares, it's nice to meet you. You know, and then I'm, meet you, John, and meet you, this one and that one. And we continue to walk, and we accumulate these as we accumulate all other things, everything we eat, everything we say, everything we learn. and it continues to be with us. However, sometimes relationships have an expiration date. Sometimes something that the person I went to school with in the 8th grade that has outlived its usefulness and was not destiny for me to be in touch with them decades later. And we're all very comfortable with that, but less so with our lovers, less so with uncomfortable relationships within families. Like, it's not so much that you don't have it, but the outdated part of it. I know you used to hold my hand when I walked across the street, but that is now outdated. And now I don't even have to tell you if I'm going across the street because it's an outdated relationship. So a lot of what goes on with us is outdated understandings that we have to have someone speak for us, that we're not capable, that our mothers or our grandmothers have to take care of things for us, or that it's certain things are too much for us because we have all these outdated understandings of what we can and cannot do. So in this freedom card, what I see is the opportunity to assess. Here we are in 2026, we can assess. I can assess this beautiful plant and decide newly my identity with this plant. Like, I love it. It has an opportunity to love me back. It's a living, conscious being. I appreciate it from that point of view. This does not feel outdated or expired. It feels current, it feels fresh, and that there's opportunity here. However, I remember a plant I had 3 or 4 years ago that I no longer have, that relationship expired. And it's okay. The tree that I grew up with when I was a child, the pear tree in my backyard that I loved when it bloomed white and it was so beautiful, when I moved away from that, that relationship expired. And in your mental and spiritual landscape, you remove it. It also happens with your belongings. Like, sometimes you purchase something and it's, for whatever reason, you've decided it's outside of what you would normally do, but it's worth it to you. The value it represents in that moment is such that you go beyond your normal expense. But then 5 years later, when you have it in its honored position of being expensive, and you don't want it or like it or need it, or it's no longer useful, your life is, you don't go to black tie events every day. It no longer has the value that it had at the time that you got it. All of those things make a difference.
So this is there's a lot going on here. One could say that we are living within a memory, almost trapped in a memory, or an ode to the card, choosing to stay within the memory instead of choosing to change, to evolve. When I think of evolution, I also think about the sacral, like the idea of fluidity and movement, ebb and flow and change, and the pivoting of the pendulum. And that sounds like stagnation to me. It's like we stop that by just being stuck in the memory. There's a lot of great examples because you're taking us through what happens universally, just on the planet, without being very specific. And I think we get the picture, but then, of course, in our own personal experiences.
Yeah.
So as you were speaking about expired relationships, I was thinking about food and what happens when we continue to engage in that which is expired. Oftentimes it makes us sick. It doesn't feel good. And I can see that same correlation with all manner of relationships that require us to let go and free ourselves. But again, something making us choose to operate the same. I love the example that you gave of you don't have to hold my hand across the street. It was making me think about a client case study where the client is having issues with her daughter. The daughter is a teenager now, and the client says, "Oh, we used to do everything together, And that was when she was a little girl and she didn't really have no options and choice. She was just walk with mommy to the store, go with mommy to the park, you know, we'll probably go get a smoothie or pudding or something. And now, you know how teenagers are. It's like, I'm doing my thing. And no, mom, get out of my room, mom. Close my door, mom. No, I don't want to go to auntie's house, mom. And so,
Freedom.
exactly. But then the mom is stuck in the memory and just unwilling to accept what is current. And so, would you talk a little bit
Well,
more about like the stuck in the memory part?
it's reminding me. It's reminding
Let
me
me do
of
something. You can keep going. Make adjustment.
in I think it was 1970. I remember, and I may be off in my decades, but I remember really long cars with, from the steering wheel to the front grill was really long, and then there was seats, and then there was a really long back to the car, and it was kind of just this rectangle, and that people wore shirts that had really long collars
Oh yeah, that was our time.
and newly created polyester plaid pants.
Yeah.
And you know, so I remember what that looked like, and I know I saw a few movies like that. And in that moment, in that current of that moment, that had cachet. It had value. But you take that and bring it into this moment, it has no value. You know,
Someone would say something like, "This brother, this sister look like they're stuck in 1970s or 60s or something like that."
because they have expired. That understanding of, you know, you're going to be, I mean, my father used to say it. I like it when children are little. I'm like, but we grow up, you know, like, so what are you saying? You know,
Yeah.
like, yes, you like it when we're 6 and we can't get away.
Right? All you want is control, pops. I see you.
And we like whatever period of time we live in that serves us and that also serves the time we're in. So the car and the clothes serve the time that the people were in at the time. And it was current to its time. But many of our relationships, many of the people who we pick up along the way, we went to school with, or we know them, or we see them out somewhere, many of those relationships, we're carrying them around, you know, like, let me put this one in this pocket. Let me put this one in that pocket. I need some cargo pants to carry around all these relationships that may have expired in 1985 or in 1992, or, and we're not assessing them. We're just kind of like, oh, you know, not realizing we're not college students anymore, not realizing we're not, you know, newly married with little children and those relationships that we gathered during those times.
So, what is this? Is this just like a inability to be in the present moment, or nostalgia? What's at the deeper core of us being stuck in our past and not choosing to be here or be in acceptance?
Not recognizing what freedom is. You are free to move forward. There is no past. There is only this moment and then the next anticipated moment. So when we don't assess our identity every day, like, who am I? You know, am I still carrying scars from when I was 12? Am I still pissed off at somebody who I dated 30 years ago? Am I still having physical ailments because of some bias I picked up about something? Am I still holding on to relationships that are not a value add, that don't give me anything, but they're there? They're on the shelf. It's like all the old spices that should have been thrown out 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
and they've all thickened, and you can't even shake them and get
They're
anything out of them.
cakey and they don't have the punch anymore, and
Yeah,
they're kind of a reminiscent, like you remember the name of it, maybe if it wasn't rubbed off.
right.
And so all of this is really about freedom is an activity. I think that's the bigger idea, is that we think of it more like a noun.
Yeah.
but it's more, freedom is an active embracing of what is available to you. So it's easy if you're cluttered, if your kitchen cabinets are all cluttered, you can't get anything else in there. It's easy that when you open the cabinet, you can't see any room for expansion.
So in order, for that example, what freedom would look like is, let me go up in here and remove what does not serve me, what's out of
Yeah.
date, and now, ooh, I have things that are useful to me, but also I can really see what I got. I have clarity of what is in this moment.
Well, and the reality is that the law in this universe is everything should serve you. You should serve it and it should serve you. So if you're in a relationship and you can't see how it's serving you and you're serving it, then that's an imbalance in your relationship. If I'm in a relationship with this beautiful plant and it serves me in so many ways, and then I serve it by making sure it has sunlight and water, that's an appropriate relationship. If I want this plant in my relationship and I refuse to water it or give it sunlight, it will follow its own way into expiration. So what happens is most of us keep old relationships, especially with family and lovers and husbands and children, which is not to say you shouldn't have a relationship, but you may need to adjust your relationship to how does it serve you? Is this serving you? Are you carrying around 5 children on your back and it's not serving you?
I think this is a really good example because sometimes people feel, especially those who are on this journey, when they're making shifts and changes, working on getting free, breaking ancestral curses, all that stuff, and how there's this desire to just completely cut off everything. And I have seen, like, that's not always required. In some cases, it's just as you said, where we pivot and change how the interaction is, you know. And I would say maybe exhaust all those options before we just dead the relationship. But I think even understanding that we're free to do such a thing is, in some cases, a big step for people.
I wouldn't even say dead. I wouldn't use language like that. When you are in a relationship for many years, it's not a value add. There's nothing to lose. You know, there's just
Yeah, 'cause
familiarity.
there isn't a flow of
Right.
anything.
There's
It's
no
just,
exchange of I serve you, you serve me.
yeah.
Now you have purpose in my life. The laws and principles demand that we have purpose in our life. So someone's in your life, what is the purpose? Are you serving that? Or are they serving it? Or has that relationship taught you what you needed to know and now it's outdated? It's bell bottoms. It's early polyester plaid bell bottoms
The long collars.
with the long collars and the long cars. And you're still trying to keep hope alive with it. You know, like, it has value, but I'm like, to who, when, and where? Does it have value in your experience? Are you being served by the relationship? Is the relationship relevant? Or is it just something that has existed, and because you have not newly identified yourself every day, you just go along with it? So I'm not actually even talking about deading anything. I'm more talking about assessing what is viable, what's still alive and can serve you, and you can serve it. And when you look at things that way, when you start going down the list, like, does this serve me? Has that served me in years? Is there evidence to show that it does not serve me? Do I serve it? Am I willing to serve it? Am I willing to serve this person that I met 5 years ago at a conference, you know, who calls me occasionally when they want something? Am I willing to service that? So once we do that, we become free. And it's true, often we choose to imprison ourselves with what we think has value without considering what is the law. The law is everything must serve you. That's the law. And to be a law-abiding citizen of this cosmic world, there would be less pain and suffering for everyone, because you're also imprisoning the other side. You know, if you keep holding on to you know, you've been married twice, but that boyfriend before the first time you got married, you still think about him every now and then. And, you know, you think about what could have happened and how it could have been. And you're imprisoning the person. You're choosing to tie them up in thoughts from a time that no longer exists, that you are no longer that person. To insert yourself into that thinking, the illusion that you have already walked through has changed.
This is a major key. Is I have seen that that's something that's not only overlooked, but I find that people don't have the awareness of the dynamic that's really at play.
Right.
How your thoughts, and in some cases, hyperfixation,
Yes.
creates energetic entanglement
Yes.
with the person, and it's such a deep thing. And why, again, this it goes back to you're free to do that, you're free not to. You know, it's always a choice. And again, the sacral wave goes out, wave comes back in. Relationships, it's all like nestled within it.
Well, I think it's very important what you just said, the how we think about a thing, our cognitive disposition concerning a thing is whether it has value attached to it or not. I know a lot of people, not all of them I'm attached to. It's not a negative or a positive, but the charge of which the energy that the person wants you to give them something or wants you to remember things a certain way, all of that is taking from your energy bucket. And so now that's the amount of freedom you have to distribute. So if you're not mindful with thinking, because it's not a matter of so much deading it, it's like, oh no, you don't get to get anything out of my freedom bucket. Get your fingers out of my freedom bucket.
Yeah, but this requires what feels like emotional balance, because the like deading a relationship or creating an abrupt end, it feels like in most cases it's an emotional charge. It's not like it's like I can't take it. I was speaking with a client about it, and I see myself in this too. You're dealing with a family member. All they do is complain, 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 suffering, and then you just like, I'm not talking to you no more. This is all you do. Versus like choosing other ways to engage them, you know, where it's this. This is what I meant by the exhausting your options. So I feel that, or sense that, to address something like this, or to not be so definitive and this is the end all be all, requires a little bit of balance, you know. Or I want to go back to what you were saying, asking yourself certain questions, which I think can bring a very balanced, objective perspective on things, where you were speaking about the energy available, and like how much is being taken, how much is being given. Am I willing to give? Do I even want to do this? You know, being real with ourselves, because again, I think that as you mentioned, we're still operating off of the old information that's outdated.
So in this universe, the commodity is energy. In shamanism, we are taught impeccability. That means pay attention to where our energy goes, how we use it, how we eat, how we wake up, how we go to sleep. Pay attention to where your energy and your attention goes. Do you want it to go that way? Are you being directed? Is someone manipulating you? This is impeccability. This is every day you assess what you will do with your enormous commodity of energy. It's called impeccability. And so, because you've learned a lot of things, you know that this applies across many boards, but it applies in this situation of your freedom. It is as everything else. If you do nothing, then who knows what will happen. But if you decide ahead of time, I will only work with that is of service to me and that I am of service to. I will value what adds to me. And I'm happy for the value add. What I have experienced and have receipts on and I have evidence on that is not a value add, it's not so much that I'm deading it, I'm releasing it. You're free. Run into the forest.
Right, like the gates open. Good.
I will not hold you. You know, I'm not gonna feed you no more either.
That's funny. I see the person looking back like, you sure? Taking a couple of steps. And they start.
I think that's a more balanced through the eyes of
it's-
impeccability.
It sure sounds, it sounds very balanced and like a very healthy perspective to have with navigating the energy, because it is a thing when you awaken to realize, oh, this is not appropriate, but this is how it works. Everything should serve us. And
Of
if it's
course.
not, then no feelings about it, just business as usual. This is just being impeccable with the energy,
That's
which is essentially honoring preservation. Because if it's not a value add, then it's taken away in some shape or form.
There's a prerequisite to this. The prerequisite is you have to understand who your daddy is. You from source.
I know who my daddy and my mama is. I can
You
tell
from
you.
source. You from creation, Mother Earth
That's
and
right.
Father Son. You from source creator. You have an obligation to not allow for parasites to hang on you and devour you.
Would you speak a little more in depth about that, like the obligation? Because, you know, we like to outsource our freedom,
It,
and
it, in the most simple elementary terms is that if you, and I started this by saying it is clear and self-evident that there is a God. Yes, and he wants us to be free. So let us use that as our basis, not because it's the Constitution, but because I find it amusing that it is. You know, so if that is in fact so, what is your obligation? Are you not to strive towards freedom? Is allowing people who devour your time and energy, does that help you get to that end? Is using the energy that comes into you from universal source and other methods, is it appropriate that you disperse it in such a way where you do not become greater? That you are not served, and that then all of humanity is not served? It is a elementary understanding that if you know who you are, and even if you don't, even if you're just learning who you are, if you're learning who you are, and you know that it is of great glory, shouldn't there be some attention to upholding the glory? You know, you just gonna lay down on the street and let all the cars run over you? You know, there should be some order, some levels of clarity, some discernment, some reaching for the truth and the strength of what you, wherever you are in your understandings, whatever you understand. We're not all the same. We're not all growing at the same pace. We're not all souls living at the same level. But if we had just that premise, would that allow more freedom? Because we would then value the freedom that is already given just by birthright, but that that's immediately pieced us apart. It pieces itself, and then we willingly, like, I want the prince to come and save me. I want Siri to fight all my battles. I think Jesus is my assistant. All of those kind of things. Like, it may feel good in the moment or not, but
you probably do.
when you
False hope.
when you exercise your own power to stand up within your own shoes and you say to someone, back up off of me, that feels free. That feels more free than, Siri, block them.
Watch out now, you know she's listening.
I know.
What's that, Lauta? Who shall I block? This is solid. This is just in general, this is very solid understandings to have. I love how you were sharing. It doesn't matter where you are within your journey.
Yeah.
Just having that bit of information, it helps one stay balanced and really honoring the design and the mechanics in which, well, the design of the blueprint, because everything in reality functions that way, and this is us honoring it and, you know,
One of the
allowing things to flow.
things it brings to mind, which is on a completely kind of different topic, but speaks to
It's all right.
freedom,
Let's go down that path.
is on certain islands, people raise their children in such a way that if the child has a nightmare and the parent is asking the child, of course, because the parent wants to know what's going on in the child's inner world, and they ask them, and the child says, something was chasing me, there was a monster and it was chasing me, they immediately move into the position of freedom by saying, turn around and chase it back.
That's right.
Like that's your world, that's your dream. Stand up in it and make whatever happen. Like you got bazookas, you got
Start
flying bicycles,
materializing
you
whatever.
got dinosaurs, you got whatever you
Yes.
want. And that is freedom. Being suppressed by what marches through your dream world is not. That's imprisonment, that's enslavement, and it's a choice. We don't have to, but unless we're told as children, we may suffer from what happens in our dream world because we don't know that there are options, which is how you started this conversation, is sometimes people, don't realize or don't exercise the option because they don't realize it until someone tells them. So we're telling you today.
I haven't read a comment yet, but Shaka would be like, say it, Lauta. That's how I feel. I felt that was necessary. Okay, I got one more thing I want to bring forth because you took us into subconscious and dream world and all that. So would you speak to the idea of not allowing the outside external circumstances interrupt our freedom to choose to think and to imagine something different than what we see in front of us?
Oh, this is such a big thing because we think we have the freedom to do wrong, but there's so much consequence behind that. Like, yes, you have a short window until it slaps you, comes back.
You start getting eat up and bop, 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 boom. It's that the wave goes out, wave goes.
So we think that we are so free, like I'm free, I'm gonna do whatever I feel like doing without having thought about the consequences or considered what exists or any of those kinds of things. The reality is that what is in your best and highest, most elevated position is your freedom. And that is a motivating aspect of humanity that has taken millions of years to bring us to the point we're at now, where we suppress ourselves into silence, into, oh, those are the only spices that are in there? That's all I can see, and I can't think beyond that. So the limitation on what we can think has to do with the mass consciousness, has to do with what's on our mass media. It has to do with what we were told as children. It has all of that, and it's all a collective. When you can find someone who's breaking the pattern, it would be good to follow that to see where it takes you, because not every breaking of the pattern is the right place to go. However, the other place is retardation. It is, undeveloped properly. It is not as it should be. So it's okay if, I think we were doing something in the kitchen the other day and something happened and I said, that's the teaching, not the right things. The fact that something happened that we didn't anticipate, that's the lesson. Because if everything is perfect, you learn nothing.
True.
You learn absolutely nothing. So the person, the place, the thing, the experience, the uncomfortability, the pain, all of this that's what's supposed to happen on the earth plane. Now, How much you bleed is up to you.
See, so, and I think that there is where the issue is. Like, I have seen within our experience of, matter of fact, there was a young lady who posted something online saying she feels like there must be a way where we can learn or change and transmute without crisis or bloodshed. I'm like, yeah, that exists, but humans in our current level of consciousness, for some reason, it's like crisis and pain and suffering instead of like this acceptance of, okay, here's a lesson. It's more of like we overstay the lesson, we drag it out, we don't really gain what there is to be gained, so
The
things can keep
expired,
moving.
and we're still
Yeah.
there eating that old expired.
And then getting sick, tummy ache, vomiting, wondering, and you still eating it. Like, don't you see what this is
You
doing to you?
overstayed the relationship. You should have, when it started to look like pain, you should start moving out.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this feels like suffering. Let me get up and go. You know,
And so,
oh, this looks like it's about to be uncomfortable. I have
right.
seen this before. I don't think I
Yeah.
want to do that
It's like
anymore.
learning vicariously through others. Ooh, that looked like it hurt. Make a note. Don't do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about we take a quick little break? It's time for a break, and then we'll come back. There's a lot of activity in the chat.
Okay, good.
Definitely like to get to that. Somebody said we look real good today. I don't know who that was, but
Ah, good.
my attention did see that. So thank you. We'll get back to you all. Hold tight. We're gonna play our commercial for about 40 seconds. This is our sponsor for our live stream, Aluka Inc. And if you're interested in assets protection, wealth management, investment in gold, you can reach out. So here's a little video, and we'll post their website below.
Every financial crisis has one winner. It's not crypto, it's not stocks, it's not real estate, it's gold. In every financial crisis, there's one asset that always comes out on top. Not because it skyrockets overnight, but because it never dies. Stocks crash, currencies collapse, property markets freeze, but gold, it keeps buying the same value as it did 100 years ago. Look at history. 1929, 1971, 2008. The people holding gold weren't panicking. They were shopping. They had liquidity when everyone else was broke. The winner in a crisis isn't the one with the most cash. It's the one holding what cash runs to when it's scared. When the next crisis hits, you'll either watch your savings melt or you'll be the one buying gold at a discount.
All right. Once again, visit alukainc.com. And shout out to Alex in Dubai. We appreciate you for sponsoring the Otherson live stream. And again, for assets protection, wealth management, and investment, specifically in gold. And we don't have to go into the details of what's happening. You might want to visit the website and book a consultation. And so we're back, and we covered a lot of different things, Lauta, in terms of freedom and its multifaceted expression. And so I'd like us to just kind of go through some of the comments here. Looks like there's a lot of activity. And again, honor, respect, and gratitude to everyone who's joining us. And also, just as a side note, thank you for your support.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. You know, it's palpable.
Great way to start a new year with all of you here with us. We hope to be doing more exciting and interesting things very soon.
Yes, yes. So, just gonna go to some of the more robust comments, but in Lakesh and Veritas to everybody in the comments who are just in Lakesh and Veritas, and let's get that straight. We see you. So, honor, respect, and gratitude, everyone. Who is this? Elijah Woods. You both have awesomely beautiful style. That's who that was.
Oh,
Thank you, Elijah.
Thank you very much, Elijah.
All right, I think I gotta read it. You know, Elijah usually, here you go. Peace, freedom, love, light, abundance of expansion, prosperity, and truth. Thank you, Elijah.
In good taste.
That's right, that's right. I'm looking to get to some of the comments here. So, looks like S. Tennis Reynolds, OMG, late but caught you both live. Welcome every Thursday, 12 noon. We're here. Le Leon says, I was wondering why people demonize ending relationships. If you meet someone and don't want to be friends forever, once you leave, they say you aren't a real friend. What are your thoughts on that, Lota?
You know what a friend is? A friend is someone who knows what you know, they're about what you're about, and they'll tell you the truth. That's a good guideline. Like, I don't think you fit the friend category. Guidelines. You may be in a semi-friend category, and it's okay for me to leave an outdated semi-friend category.
It is. It is. So there's a follow-up comment. Just a second. I got to bring it back. This takes a few seconds because when there's new comments, the comment tab, it scrolls. But someone responded, who is this? The tech janitor says, but you're not a real friend. You have moved on, not being served and not being a servant anymore. And so it's a thing where
Yeah,
you often
that's
say,
right.
so I'm not doing enough to please you, huh?
Yeah, like I
Not
came
doing
to
enough to
Earth.
please you?
I came to Earth. I've met you. I learned everything I learned, and I've made you unhappy because I'm not doing enough for you. I'm good with that. I can live with
Yeah.
that. I can feel the expiration date moving. I can really feel the outdatedness of that understanding with no offense. Like, oh, now I know that you thought I was born to be only of service to you, and that divine creator made me just for that purpose. Well, I beg to differ. No, we're not doing that.
I want to go back to the example you were using, the uh, objective, non-emotional. Oh, look at the energy dynamic and paying attention to that.
Yes.
Because I feel that oftentimes we ignore it.
Oh yes,
You
and
know,
we don't. And I often look at this. I often look at things in my life, not just people. Is that refrigerator a value add?
you over here doing an energetic scan. Dee, 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 dee.
Yeah. Is this a value add in my
Yeah.
life? Is the time that it takes that this person requires a value add for me? Is it a value add for me to still be filling out my children's forms when they're adults? Is it a value add for me to continue to do that? That's a no. It's not. Which then means the relationship has to change. That whatever that relationship was, that has outdated. There may be a new one, or there may be just an expired history mark.
Yeah, we got to renegotiate this contract. Change some things up. We got Diva 831. Holding on to experiences beyond their date and time of significance locks you in a space-time that doesn't allow you to grow past.
That's right. That's
Wanting
right.
spiritual growth and healing, but locked in a frequency.
That's it. You know.
She got a little bit more as a double comment. It's truly disadvantageous and stifling. We are always being invited to grow. Let's meet the universe where it needs us.
Yes.
In growth and expansion. I hear
Absolutely. Talk that talk, girl. Yeah.
that. Yeah. Elijah is like, truth. But throwing flaming comments. If only he knew. Yo, Elijah, you so tapped in. We were talking about asteroids and comments and in soul translation, and she mentioned something about that. It's just, the oneness is so cool. All right. So there's a lot of agreement in here. Oh, more people over here talking about we look good. Tay X Chung, you both look so nice today. Thank you, Tay.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Le Leon says, shall we have the courage to speak the truth? I love this line because I can tell when I'm starting to reject things that do not serve me, whereas before I did not have the courage to say it.
That's right. And it's so interesting. In the saying of it, often the whole thing collapses. All of the energy and fear you had around what was going to happen if you said it just collapses.
You know, it's making me think about how confrontation is needed and how avoiding confrontation, it just allows the status quo to stay the same. And as you say, that confrontation, which is, it doesn't have to be something like aggressive, it's just speaking to the fear.
I don't even know if I would use the word confrontation as much as I would.
Or confront, to confront. But go ahead.
The idea of acknowledging yourself. Like, I'm not trying to have a fight with you. I'm acknowledging what's going on with me. Like, so it's not a fist fight.
Yeah, and even in that, it's still self. I 100% agree. Like confronting, it has nothing to do with them. It's
Nothing.
addressing the self
Right.
and
And
deciding.
right. It's absolutely this idea of bringing yourself up into the highest frequency of truth that you or have available to you, and asking yourself, is this a value add? Is this something I want to continue? Has this expired? Is this something that is outdated? Is this something I'm being inspired to continue? For me, that's a big deal.
And
The
inspiration.
inspiration is like, if there's no inspiration, I might not be there.
So I can see that's definitely with the sacral, the creation energy. Am I inspired, aroused, to direct my life force into this idea, to
Yes.
give it life, and
Is this so
or not?
beautiful, so exciting, so wonderful? Is this such an excellent combination of energies and people that I want to jump in with all of my energy? Or is this something I've seen 100 times
Yeah.
before and it didn't end up well? Am I inspired? And so the inspiration is as much inside of me, but it is also something others can contribute to the pot, and it can keep something possibly from expiring if it is more inspired. But everything doesn't, I love what was said earlier. We don't live in a time where the honoring a relationship that lasts 100 years or 50 years, at this end of time that we're in, we are not in that time. We're in the time where we can honor what it is that we meet along our path, and then we can, digest what is available for us. We can serve it and it can serve us until that no longer takes place. And then we can continue along our path. It seems a very simple understanding, but to think because of family or honor or religion that you have to continue because they are your DNA, or you met them, or you married them. I often tell people, like, look, I've been married twice. The person who I married the first time married a person who no longer exists. I don't exist as that person anymore. And I wouldn't have expected to remain in a relationship where I grew beyond the mold. So whatever happened in that relationship, that was somebody else.
Like that.
And that's not who I am today. I can't
Right.
really even.
Yeah, I did it, but that ain't me no more. This is a new me. I don't even know who that person is. Who's that?
That's my story.
Yeah, that's a cool. It sounds very free.
And so when
Liberating.
somebody comes back and says, well, you did something 25 years ago, I'm like, I didn't do that. Whoever I used to be did that.
Yeah,
The person who I am now didn't do it and don't want to hear about it.
that's a very.
And I'm not
again,
inspired to listen to the story either.
Yeah.
Like, why are you still thinking about it? It's like, what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah, it's a powerful perspective.
Yeah.
And so we're at the tail end, and again, there's comments just keep rolling in. I'm just gonna reference these before we head out, and just give you all a couple of little announcements. Diva31 says, "I love that when you shift from one state to another, you are truly a new person."
Yes.
That's right. Gina says, "I agree, looking very dapper today and always," and showering us with emojis. Thank you.
Thank
you all for the
you.
compliments. This is
We're
woke up like
surprised.
this. We just-
Good, but
Yeah.
I hope we can do this again.
I think so. I think we'll keep it going. And then Stacy says, "Right on time, freedom, acceptance, and lessons are what we are here to experience." And so, again, shout out to everyone on the live stream tuning in, those who commented, those who did not. We appreciate the energy exchange. We trust that you have found value from the live stream.
Yeah.
Just as a quick little recap, every Wednesday, 12 noon, join Diane of the Sun in Lakesh Studios for high frequency living meditations. Get you some. She's working with those mudras. Hold on, let me do it. There we go. Bow. Got to get my fingers in order. Working with those mudras. And again, a lot of what she teaches in the meditations are in tandem with what's taught and supported in all the other classes. And you can catch her on Fridays at 7 p.m. for the Call for the Truth Divination card pool. So it's a free reading for the collective, and there's always some value to take from those. As a matter of fact, if you're interested in purchasing Call for the Truth Divination cards, you can visit her website, inlakeshstudio1.com. I'll make sure we put it in the description. But you can visit her site. You can purchase them there, along with the Call for the Truth book written by Lauta. You actually did a book club live stream with her covering the book. So if you all haven't seen that, check that out as well. And yeah, visit the website. Classes, updates, and things of that nature. And if you're interested in working with us, you can sign up for a free discovery call. You can also email us at contact@ofthesun. If you click on the About page on our YouTube, you'll find all these links. You'll find our website, you'll see our email, you'll see light body movement link to some of the other classes. Lauta, you have any final thoughts or comments before we wrap up?
I'm very excited about all of you who are becoming our new family, and look forward to doing more with you. You are encouraged to sign up for the e-blast, because we're going to be doing new things soon. And to go to the website and directly sign up, or email us at contact@ofthesun.com.
Alrighty. Keep your light bright. Lakesh Veritas, everyone.
In Lakesh and Veritas, everyone, with honor, respect, and gratitude.